Hi everyone, welcome to Gamer Thoughts, and today we're talking about Game of the Year. So this week we have the Game Awards coming up on Thursday, December 8th, and I wanted to talk about the Game Awards, Game of the Year, and kind of what a year it's been for gaming in 2022. Now, for those of you who don't know, the Game Awards is an award show that's been organized and put on by Geoff Keighley, who is a game journalist that started up the Game Awards in 2014. He's worked with numerous award shows in the past, and using his connections to kind of make the Game Awards a place where there are fun, new, big announcements, as well as a very large panel of journalists selecting the games, as well as a viewer voting system. He was able to make the Game Awards very quickly become the premier Game Awards show, and basically the gaming equivalent of the Oscars. Now, the Game Awards really has cemented itself as this huge gaming event amongst the community. While there are many other award shows for gaming, this one gets the most discussion, especially on social media and among groups of gamers, with things where people are talking about who got snubbed when it comes to nominations, or what game should have won over this game, and very rarely is it something that everyone agrees on and that everyone says, oh yeah, no, that game definitely should have won that award. There's always contention over it. It's so huge and so many people come together to both decide the nominees, to decide who wins, and it really is an insane event. This year it's shaping to be the biggest it's ever been, within just a few days, over 35 million people voted for this award show, which is an incredible feat and an incredible number of people participating. And that was just it within the first few days of voting being open. However, while there are many categories that are given awards throughout the Game Awards, ranging from everything from music to visual design to directing, the award I want to talk about today is specifically Game of the Year. Why Game of the Year is a big deal, why it's kind of looked at as this great honor, and what my personal pick for Game of the Year is. So the thing about Game of the Year is, one, it's a fairly exclusive club. The Game Awards started back in 2014, and so there's not too many games that have actually won Game of the Year so far. Here are the previous winners. Now, looking at the previous winners, there's a lot of things we can look at to say, oh, this is what makes a Game of the Year, this is what doesn't. There's a few things to note: that not every Game of the Year has been a console exclusive. A lot of people tend to think that the Game Awards have this huge favoritism towards console exclusives, or one particular console in general. That is not true. If you look at previous winners, we have a lot of multi-platform games. We have a wide variety of games. They're not even all just one genre. We have open world games, we have FPS arena games on here, we have level-based games. There's definitely a wide variety of things that get nominated and ultimately win the honor of Game of the Year. If you look at what is described by the award show, it said the Game Award for Game of the Year is given to a video game judge to deliver the best experience across creative and technical fields. So Game of the Year looks at a number of things. It's not just a battle system. It's not just the story that's told, a brand new shiny AAA game running at the tip-top graphics. It kind of looks at several different things. I think one of the biggest things that we can look at some of the past winners is that storytelling definitely has a big pull for Game of the Year. A lot of people think that Game of the Year only goes to easy games that are not difficult, but we have some very difficult titles that have won it in the past. But I think a huge thing, did it capture the cultural zeitgeist? How many people were talking about this game? How big of a deal was it when this game came out? How many people were actually playing it? How many people beat it? And was that game fun? You have a lot of titles that you can look back this year and see that people were talking about how fun it was. One of the ones that a lot of people are saying got snubbed this year is Sonic Frontiers, where everybody who's talking about that game is talking about how much of a blast Sonic Frontiers is. Unfortunately, there are only 6 nominees allowed for Game of the Year. That was updated in 2018 from 5 to 6. And this year has been an absolutely phenomenal year for gaming. Before I name my personal pick, I would like to say I think every single game that got nominated this year is worthy of the title of Game of the Year. I look back, I've played all of them. Stray was absolutely a magical adventure. It was only like 7 hours long, but it was so enthralling, and everybody I know was talking about it when it came out. And it was just this magical experience, from the art design to the cute little story that was told. Elden Ring, obviously one of the big contenders this year. Massive open world, huge leap forward from Software in terms of the kind of games they're designing. And From Software has won before. They won with Sekiro. And Elden Ring was this beautiful experience that I launched hours and hours into. And then you have the sequel to God of War 2018, another previous Game of the Year winner with God of War Ragnarok, which was an absolutely gorgeous game. Horizon Forbidden West was phenomenal. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 was great. Plague's Tale Requiem kind of snuck up on me, but a beautiful story and a beautiful second installment to the original game. And every single game, as well as other games that did not make the nomination, really deserved Game of the Year. Like, this has been such a phenomenal year for gaming. However, I will say, for me personally, my game of the year, kind of gave it away there, is going to God of War Ragnarok personally. God of War Ragnarok for me checked every single box possible. I thought the world was absolutely beautiful. I thought the combat was super engaging. I played it on the hardest difficulty and it never stopped challenging me. It was one of those games that I couldn't put down till I 100%ed it. I collected everything possible, saw every side story, beat every super boss. And the thing that really set it over the edge for me was the depth of its narrative. Its narrative continued upon the first game. Had great parallels. It was a consistently beautifully written story. Made me cry multiple times, and taught me lessons. It made me want to be a better person, and it made me want to grow. And it was this engaging experience. I had a lot of friends talking about it, just like I did with many of the other games, but it was super fun to have the conversation with people. And it's kind of cemented itself in this section of my memory as a gaming experience I will never forget, and I don't think I will ever truly move on from. And that is why it is my game of the year. There's going to be a lot of people who disagree with me on that, because like I said before, I think several games this year are definitely worthy of the title of Game of the Year. And we'll find out on Thursday, on the 8th, what this year's Game of the Year is. Let me know what you think Game of the Year is down below in the comments, and what game you're rooting for. Are there any categories that you are really excited to see who wins that had kind of interesting nominees? Or do you care about the Game Awards at all, or are you skipping them entirely because you think award shows are stupid? But this has been Gamer Thoughts. If you like the content, make sure to like and subscribe. And thank you for being around. We'll see you next time. As always, much love.